I'm always relieved when you sit down, John. Now, Terry Jones was on this show a few weeks ago, and he rejected the claim that you made somewhere that all the ex-Pythons are dead, except for him, and his bodily functions no longer work. He denied that. He said his functions do work.
Why do you think he was strapped up like that?
Is there something I don't know?
Oh, well, he didn't explain that. Well, he's not very honest. Michael Palin is not dead, I'm delighted to announce. He's actually in a home. He's in a home in Bath for people who've damaged their mouths by talking too much. The lips are irreparable now, and the tongue is worn to a stump. But I go down and I take him out for tea sometimes. It's lovely to see him. And I wrote a part for him in Wanda, you know, in which he stutters, because that's all he can do now. But it's helped to get his career going again, because he was going through a bad time. And Chapman is in a home. He's in a home in Avonmouth for the terminally vague. Or rather, he thinks he may be. But Idle is dead. He's definitely dead, because we took his body down to the St John's Wood Crematorium and Pie Company. And Gilliam is brain dead, only brain dead, but he's still directing.
I'm so glad I asked. Now, Wanda, A Fish Called Wanda is the film that you briefly alluded to, which I've seen. It made me laugh a great deal. Did you have to audition many fish to find your star?
Yes, we combed the pet shops of London. We eventually found a wonderful shop called Wet Pets. And they gave us an angelfish, but after the first day we looked at the rushes, and the truth is, Michael, she wasn't beautiful enough. I'm being serious, she wasn't. So we had to let her go. And we hired another one who was much more beautiful, and we put her in the tank that night. And unfortunately, when we came in the next morning, she'd eaten 32 of the extras. They were being sued by Piscine Equity. Well, you know, I've taken my clothes off a lot in movies. People are surprised about this, but I was down to my underpants in Clockwise. I was stark naked in Meaning of Life. And I made a little film in '74 with Connie Booth, in which we both ran around in the buff for most of the movie. And
I suspect that it was you, as you were then, that made us forget it, put it out of our minds. But you now, talking of gluttony and sloth...
It's magnificent, isn't it?
Superb young body.
British surgery, yes. It's wonderful what they can do now with plastics and so on. But actually, when I actually discovered that we got the money from MGM, I ran straight off and hired this fearsome American trainer called Josh Saltzman, who came over to work me out. And he was very nice. He's from Connecticut. And he said, OK, buddy, he said, do some press-ups. So I said, how many do you want, Josh? He said, oh, just go to muscular exhaustion. He trained me for about 6 months or something before that, because it's pure vanity in a way, but it's also true that because the love story is very important in the movie, if I actually took my clothes off and was my usual pale, flaccid, flabby self, it would sort of detract a little bit from the convincingness of the love story.
So you pumped iron?
I pumped iron, indeed.
Yeah.
And injected it.
Yes. Well, Ben, what was I saying? No, your co-star, Jamie Lee Curtis, let's see if I can get the quote right. She said, for a very old man with bad teeth and little hair, this film was a real accomplishment.
No teeth, actually. I mean, I have no teeth at all now. I was talking to my dentist only 3 weeks ago, and I said, I do have one tooth left that's my own, don't I? And he had a glance. He said, no, that went 2 years ago. Apart from my hair transplants, you see all this? You see that? They're all gone now. I'm going to have some implants that side, because I'm told I'm a sex symbol now. And if I have the teeth implanted there, I should be able to chew on both sides of my mouth, which I gather is essential for a sex symbol.
Yes. It's for women, anyway. Now, what about this transplant, then, John?
Oh, well, I had 3 of them, because I was going very bald. And it's my own hair. You know, I mean, it's not a toupee.
Not taken from the armpit, or anything?
Sorry, I wasn't... It's all my own. It's just sort of redistributed a bit, on a socialist principle.
Toupees make you laugh?
Yes. I think toupees are probably the funniest thing that exists in the world. We used to play a game on Python when we were walking down the street. We saw a toupee. We'd all go, bzzz.
Why are they always ginger as well?
They're just terrible, aren't they? We did a sketch once on Python, which I adored, about a man going into the toupee department, you know? And when he arrived there, these people came over, 3 assistants came over to him with dead squirrels on their heads, you know? And they all went on about how wonderful they were now, and you absolutely can't tell them at all. Looking at them all, and then he said, in fact, one of them said, you may not believe this, but one of us actually is wearing a toupee. He said, I thought all 3 of you were. And they all rushed off to the mirror and started checking.
Yes.
I don't know, they're the funniest things.
I know, they are.
And the great thing about a hair transplant is just... Sorry, did I make you jump?
Yes, you did.
Sorry. Is that it's just as bad and no worse as a fairly long dental operation. I mean, it takes about an hour and a quarter. They take 50 little plugs out of here, and they take 50 little plugs out here. And these they throw away or give to the cat or something, and then they move these up. And 10 days later, when you've got rid of the scabs, you have hair up there.
Forever?
Forever and ever, because hair is not intelligent. And hair goes on growing back there, you move it up there, it never notices, keeps on going.
Don't keep aiming for your collar any longer. How far would you go in the name of vanity?
How far? I think the trouble with plastic surgery is they all look so terrible when they get old, don't they? You know?
Yes.
So I think I'd draw the line at plastic surgery. I'd certainly get knee transplants if there was any chance of that. Let me think, get the teeth back in. No, I think I've gone about as far as I can go.